talking about here on my left, closest to me, who has been in on the show many times, and Will Rosinsky is headlining this card in Brighton Beach, Brooklyn. Gentlemen, welcome.
Thank you.
Sports on One. Dimitri, why don't you let us know a little bit about what's going on, the card, how big it is, where it's happening, give us all the pertinent information.
We're starting a monthly boxing series at Oceana Theater in Brighton Beach, and the first day is going to be July 20th. Will Rosinsky, who's a four-time Golden Glove champion, 13-0 prospect, is going to be headlining the show. Boyd Nelson is the co-main event, and he's also an exciting junior middleweight prospect, four-time U.S. Army champion. Jarrell Miller, American heavyweight prospect. So a lot of good boxers, good show, and Will is gonna rock the night with the main event fight of the evening.
Now, you boxed at this hall back in April, so is this a place that's become a pretty good, pretty popular boxing venue, or is it just started up?
It's a pretty popular boxing venue. You know, it's close to the beach. It's in the center of the neighborhood, close to public transportation, and it's a great setup. Every place is a great seat in town, in the house, and I think it's going to be a great night of boxing. And this monthly series is going to help fans establish a relationship with the boxers, like Will, and help New York boxing.
All right, Will, a born and bred New Yorker from Queens, and he is light heavyweight, correct?
Yes.
And you are 13-0, and as Dimitri said, four-time Golden Gloves champ. You turned professional, if my information is correct, back in 08, right? Was your first fight?
Yep.
And it was at BB King's, which is an interesting venue in and of itself. And you have not lost yet. And if you go on YouTube and you call up Will's name, on YouTube there's a little documentary that you were in that shows you going to your first fight. And it's pretty interesting to watch. And you talk about going pro. And here's some of that video from your first fight. But give us your thoughts, going pro back in 08 and now how it's gone over these first 13 fights.
There's a lot of adapting you have to do. It's a little different without the headgear and things like that. Boxing is a great business. It's a little different from the amateurs to the pros. It's something to get used to. Like I said, the headgear makes a big difference. But as you grow, you definitely learn to deal with those things that the pros bring to you.
You did mention that in that documentary that you were in, that the headgear is different, not having it on. And even after 13 fights, seems like a long time, but are you still getting used to that sensation of not having it on?
Listen, I'm human, nobody likes to get hit. My job is to hit somebody and not get hit back. So it's not something you can get used to, but it's something that you try to, you know, have happen less and less with every fight, and, you know, grow with every fight and get better.
I think when people hear Gold Gloves, one of the most famous boxers that ever came out was probably Mark Breland.
Right.
As you're going through that as a New York City kid and you start winning the Golden Gloves, at what point do you start thinking, or at what age, I might be able to do this professional?
You know what, I think a lot of people ask me that question, and as, you know, you win, the target gets bigger on your back for the Golden Gloves, and you want to take it to the next level. I mean, the Golden Gloves is almost like you're graduating from the amateurs and getting to the pros. You know what? Not everyone wins the Golden Gloves, but just to have that experience and to be fight in front of a big New York crowd, get you ready for the pros. And I think that's the one great thing that a lot of New York fighters get, that a lot of people around the world or the country don't get exposed to.
So fight number 1 was in Midtown at BB King's. Fight number 14 is in Brooklyn. Where have some of the other fights in between taken you?
In the city. Basically all around New York. I've been to Long Island. I've fought in the city a bunch of times. I've fought at BB King's 2 or 3 times. And that was my first fight in Brighton Beach, which I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to making a lot of noise on that fight and definitely coming out with the victory.
You must have a lot of friends and family that are following you around if you get all these home turf fights.
Yeah, definitely. And another thing, I'll have a lot of... The good thing is that when I knock this guy out, that there'll be a lot of EMS work is from my station 39 and all around the city there to hopefully help him out.
We will get to that. A very interesting job that you have when you get back to Dimitri. And you're still an active boxer, right? So
correct.
How does that work? I mean, you've just under 40 professional fights. Are you at now?
I'm 34-1.
Right.
And I also fought in the Golden Gloves. You know, I'll be wearing my promoter shirt July 20th. And Will's going to do a great job.
What made you get into the promotion side of it while you're still an active boxer?
Well, you know, it's the business side I was